So what is good in the hood, my fine peoples? How's everybody doing out there today? Wow, lots of people piling up already. This is good. You guys must have all been over in RC Air Marshals. Thanks for popping over here to see me. Yeah, the echo's off, Bill. I had my phone on. Didn't realize it. But I got some good stuff set up here. Going to Shadow Ops. Where are you at, Shadow Ops? I thought you were in Idaho. So yeah, gonna be setting up some stuff here for you guys to see what it is that I do. So you can see how I keep my batteries going. If I don't use all my batteries, you can see how I discharge. Yeah, there are birds all around me, GB. I'm outside on my patio. You'll probably hear people talking and kids yelling because there's people out here. And we have birds that we feed. So we've got little birds that come out all the time. Squirrels, they're pretty much going to bed. Cool, 31 people. All right, so let's see. Well, good job, Shadow Ops. Go get some rest. Wish you could hang out, but this will be on the replay. You can come watch it later. So yeah, AZ Desert Jets 10. I've got quite a few people here, so let me get my camera on so you guys can see. What's up, Hanger 51? What's up, George Watts? Let me see who all is in here. I gotta get my phone to check that. I'm getting things set up on my table, so I'm gonna leave the camera off, but you can hear me talking. So let me get that. I think I have one more charger to go get. I will do that. So let's take a look at the table here, so you can see what I've got. So I've got some things here to show what it is that I'm charging. So there'll be a few things. I'll grab some batteries too. But give me a second, guys. I will go grab the other charger that I normally use. Let me see. Does it look better with the light on or with the light off? I think I can leave that light off. All right, guys. Hold on a second. I'll be back. All right, so let me get this other charger hooked up so you guys can see. This is my main go-to charger. Get this stuff out the way for now. So basically what I'm going to be going over today is just what it is that I use, the chargers, how I charge, why I charge the way that I do, and when I'm done flying, what I do when I still have batteries left over that I didn't use in planes that day. So let me get this thing plugged in. You're going to hear a beep. Well, maybe not. Let's see here. I haven't looked at the chat, guys. Give me a second. Get the last of my stuff set up. So, let me take a look at the chat. 36 people. Cool. Thanks for coming in, guys. What's up, Josh Weaver? You get a wrench? You have to leave, unfortunately. Sorry, Sawyer has leap. It will be on the replay, though. You can come take a look later. Lee Davidson, what's up? So Dave, I gotta make you a moderator. You are now. Wow, 42 people. Thanks, guys. Keon, I'm gonna burn your internet connection. Stop it. So let's see who else. John T. Yes, this is an ISDT smart discharger right here. It's not a charger. I have a smart charger, which is an ISDT collaboration with Spectrum, but I don't have my batteries with me at the moment. I left them in the car, and I'm not going to go get them. Otherwise, I would be showing you guys how those work too. But I just wanted to give you guys an idea as to what it is that I do. So I guess we can get started. So sorry for the noise and bumping my mic. So let me just go over the basics of what I do for chargers at the moment. So number one, this is my go-to charger right here. This is the EV Peak CQ3. So there's 400 watts total per channel on this thing. So basically that means I can charge pretty much any size battery up to a 6S 5000, whatever, and get it charged in a reasonable amount of time. So got 4 of these per port. So basically this is one charger, but it's 4 ports. So it's basically 4 chargers in one. And Jeff's Customs, yes, I do need a case. I have one right now. I have a snap-on case that I made work for this. But yeah, we can talk about that. So I've got 3 of these chargers because I am an EDF freak, and I like to be able to charge packs like this and not have to sit there and wait forever. So with this charger, I'm able to charge 4 5000s. Each one of those 5000s at 4.3 to 4.4 amps. So, you know, that's a little below 1C, which you want to do 1C or less if you want your battery last. So I'm able to get 4 batteries. 4 batteries done here in the same amount of time it would take 1 battery to charge. So I'm able to get 4 batteries done in about 45 minutes. So yeah, this is my go-to. So basically, let's see, so I've got 4 of these, and then I have, like I said, 3 of these chargers, so that's 12 ports. So I can charge 12 packs. So one of these packs will take about, and yeah, if you go up with chargers, if you go up in amperage, up in voltage, you go down in amperage, so you're able to make them charge more efficient. But this thing's cool because not only is it AC, which is plugged in right now. I'm sorry if you hear screaming, there's a kid over there. If you see, there's AC plugged in now, but also put it on its side. Let's see. One of these places, you can see there's a spot to plug in DC, and I've used this in the field for DC. Basically, you just have a setup with alligator works. These are things that I actually made myself because the ones that came with it were the doo-doo. They weren't very good. So this is the adapter. It's an XT60. And then it plugs into bullets. I made this myself too because I didn't like the bullets that came with it. They were too thin. It comes with those bullets. I did the soldering on this myself. Took bullets that you normally use for a motor connector. And then you plug that into the side. Plug it into a battery and you're good to go. And it will take input voltage anywhere from 10 volts up to, I think, 18 volts. So when you're charging when charging in the field, you don't want it to be that long. I mean, you don't want it to be that low. You don't want your voltage to go that low. So I have it set at 10 volts. And the big batteries that I use when I'm out in the field, those are 2 6S, not 6S, I'm thinking in LiPo, 2 6-volt batteries that I put in series to make 12 volts. But they're 250 amp hour batteries. So the voltage very seldomly drops below 12. Even when I have 3 of these things plugged into it charging, I'm still able to get a lot of power out of those packs. There's no voltage drop. But anyway, so that's one of the chargers I use now. As I was saying before, and I talked about this a little bit on Dave Marshall's channel, I don't charge my batteries at anything more than 1C. So 1C is the capacity of the pack. 5,000 milliamps is the same as 5 amp hours. So 5 amp hours means 5 amps. Hey bird, there's a bird hanging out over there. So anything from 5 amps and below will work for these. And on this charger, it will be 4.4 at the most. And that's below 1C, which is fine. That means that it's not going to hurt this at all. So since I take most of my batteries down to 3.7 volts per cell resting after each flight, it doesn't take that much to charge them up. So about 45 minutes, they're charged up. And since there's 4 of these ports, that's 4 of those packs done in 45 minutes. And since I've got 3 of these, that's 12 batteries done in 45 minutes. So that's why I went crazy and got that many. When I go to the field, I usually take 1 with me. If I don't charge, I'll take 2 with me. But so yeah, that's how it works. So let me slow down a little bit and check out the chat here, because I see you guys are talking a lot. Let me see what's going on here. So you guys keeping up so far? Is it all working out? Can you hear me okay? Let's see. I'm checking out the chat right now. Keon, we know I have a couple pictures of you having almost burned up my charging station that I made at Bayside, remember? I think it was either you or your brother that did that. I know how much you charge, what C you charge at. That 2200 put out a huge fireball. So let's see here. So I'm going to add you as a moderator, Mr. Tex Flyer. You've replied to a few of my videos. Let me read what you're saying. I just made you a moderator too, by the way. I know it wasn't you, Keon, it was your brother, but still. Yes, you're right. I do need 125 to 150. I'll get there. As I said, this charger only does 100 watts per channel, so it's a little below 1C. But I'll get to it a little bit later. I have another charger that does more, and I will get to that. So let's see here. What are you guys saying? Crank it up till they puff. Craft King, I wish I had a video of what happened that day. I put together a charging station for a club that I used to go to called Bayside, and I finally got everything working. I have the solar charging set up. I've got all the big, huge 160 amp hour batteries in there getting in parallel to charge, and finally get it all going. I've done all the testing, got all this stuff done. Keon's brother, oh, there's that squirrel. Get out of here! Keon's brother Ryan had put a Venom 2200 pack on and cranked up the charge rate to about what? I think it was the 2200, and I think he was charging it at 12 amps. Anyway, it was high. Needless to say, we start hearing snap, crackle, pop, and fizz and all that. I look over, and there was a big old fireball It was still connected and charging. So I ran over there and I didn't have to, but I'm an electric guy. I work on electric stuff at work. So I'm used to it. It was high, Keon. I don't know what it was. It was high. The thing was snap, crackle, popping. So I went over there, and first thing you do is you grab the connector, unplug it, and toss it. And I did that, and I left a little imprint on my hand. I've got thick calluses on my hands, so it didn't hurt. But yeah, I had the plates from the lipo imprint on my hands for about 2 weeks after that. Needless to say, that battery was done. Nothing else burned down, not just that one battery. So it was at 5 amps then, Keon? Whatever it was. The thing was like a freaking balloon, and it blew up. Let me see what you guys are saying in the chat. Yeah, Josh, I've done that too. I did that with my kids. We were at the place I used to fly with, the big barbecue grill. I had a bad battery. Drove a nail through it, and the kids filmed it, and I thought it was funny. Okay, so that's the one charger that I use. Now there's basically, like I said, this is 4 chargers in one. Even though this is one charger, it's actually 4 chargers. Each one of these does different things. I mean, you can do different things at once. So you can do 4 different individual things here. Doesn't have to be all the same thing. You can charge different chemistry. Doesn't matter what. But let's see. So let me see if I can see here. Let's go to this one. Let's go out to another. Let's see. It says lipo. Get my finger out of the way. Hold on. Switch around to the other side. So there's lipo. Let's go this way. That's what you select. Let's go back that way. There's lipo, lilo, Li-Fi, lithium, lipo high voltage, nickel metal hydride, NiCad, and PB, which is lead acid. And then digital power, I don't know what all that is. That's just for different settings in the charger. A lot of different things you can do. But there's a few things you can do here. Let me go to user program so you guys can see what it is that I do. So with this charger, this is one of the few things you need to do, and you can do it on a couple chargers. I take the safety timer off. That's just my thing. You don't have to do that, but that's what I do. I prefer to take that off. I'll check out the chat in a second, guys. I take that off because otherwise, if I have a battery that's way out of balance, sometimes I exceed that. I purposely take the capacity cutoff off as well because I pay attention. And then that's the input. That's the low power, so the lowest it will go is 10 volts, and then it'll shut off. Buzzers are on, backlight's all the way up. Now with this charger, sorry I'm bumping the camera, with this charger, if you notice, I have the voltage set kind of high, 4.21, because when I've charged these packs, I've noticed that this will actually undercharge the battery. It won't be at 4.2 when it's done. It'll be at 4.18, 4.19. However, when I change it to this, it actually charges it all the way. So that's one of the settings I've done. Let's go back around. Let's see what else. So there's a few other things in there that I haven't messed with. That's it. So that's this charger, and like I said, they do a few things. So we're on balance charge. Every time I charge, I do balance. It's because there's no point not to. If I have a battery with a bad job, sometimes I'll just go to regular charge. But almost every time, or if I have a 1S pack to charge, Let's go to there's storage mode. That will either charge or discharge the pack. We'll get to discharge in a minute because I have a better way to do it. If I have the small 1S packs, this thing looks really good to get them down quickly. And I can use the Lipo with this battery, with this charger, is if I have a small 3S pack, because this thing will only discharge in the milliamps. It won't even get to an amp. So let me check out the chat because I see you guys are talking. Let me make sure I'm not going too fast for anybody here. Is everything making sense to you guys so far? Hey Randy, all good here. Good to see you here, man. Thank you. TXK Flyer. Yep, he's saying the truth, guys. Let's see here. Thanks, Dennis. If anybody has any questions, now is the time to ask, because I am going to take a little break to check the chat, and then I'll go back. All right, let's see. Air Marshal, this should be right up your alley. You should like this stuff. Going on my nerd kick. All right, so let me jump back into it. TXK Flyer, if you guys saw what he said, he's actually speaking the truth. TXK Flyer, since you bring that up, let me show you something. This is actually a, sorry, John T. I hope everybody else can hear me okay. My screen hasn't broken up but once or twice, so it's been good here. TXK Flyer, take a look at this. This is power supply. I got this from a company out here. This thing fell off because they hot glued it. But I got this from a company out here called RC Juice. And this is a little power supply from one of those servers that they repurposed and turned into something for chargers. So this is 1025 watt, 85 amp. So this little thing right here has 85 amps worth of power. Pretty cool little thing. And it has a USB that I use to charge my run cam. But yeah, this is, if you have a charger that is not AC/DC, that needs an external power supply, this little thing is a beast. I've been able to run 3 chargers off of it, full bore, a 300 watt and a 300 and 250 watt, and then another 400 watt. So it just depends on what you want to do, but this little thing's awesome. And I'll show you more about that a little bit. So that's what I use this thing for. I recommend this to everyone. I don't have an affiliate link, so I'm not really pushing this at all for anybody, but this thing works amazing. I got it for $149, and then I got a coupon code and got it on sale for even more off. I got the other 2 for $129 each. So yeah, good charger, even when it's on sale. Not on sale, totally worth it. Each one of these is a charger. So this one charger is 4 chargers at 100 watts each. So yeah. Let's see. So that's my go-to. That's what I use the most. quality and quantity all at once. So yeah, that's that one. All right, so we've seen that. Let's get this out of here. It's got a switch. You can turn it off. Boop. So let's get that out of here. Move on to the next. So I'm actually going to plug this one into the power supply, then I'll get this back to what I was doing before. So since I got this cool little power supply, I'm going to plug this charger in so you can see. So that's the power supply I was telling you about. And then this is another charger that's actually pretty cool. This thing's got a lot of features on it. Even though it's small, it's 300 watts, 20 amps. I always wanted to get one of these with the 4-port because it's a crazy powerful charger, but I never can get it. It's always out of stock. So I got one of these at a swap meet for 20 bucks. And this thing is badass, as RC Marshall would say. It's badass. So this thing is basically one port of what that other charger has 4 of. This thing does all of that, but it's just a single port. And instead of being 100 watt, it's 300. So you can do a lot more amps with this thing. So let me take a look at the chat and see what you guys are saying. Yeah, John T, it's kind of annoying, but I'll talk about it a little later. I'm not going to talk about it now, but I will talk about it a little bit later on this broadcast so you guys will know. Because it's been annoying. It's been irritating, especially when it gets personal and starts affecting your life as far as work and all that other stuff. We will talk about it later, not right now. So, let's see, look at the chat and see if anybody's got questions. TXK Flyer keeps dropping some knowledge. I appreciate that. Keep doing it. Educate the peoples. So again, guys, this is just what I do. There are other ways to charge. They have ISD chargers, ISDD chargers. I know a lot of people like iChargers. You can use those. There's a whole bunch of stuff. You just need to make sure to get the numbers right. And make sure not to overdo it. As I said, I like charging my packs at 1C or less. I don't like going above that because it helps keep the helps keep the batteries lasting a little bit longer. So let's see, George, what were you asking? You don't have a cutoff of some. What are you asking, George? I don't know what you mean. The little guy, this little charger right here. I'm trying to keep up with the chat too. I don't want to just ramble on and not pay attention to what you guys are saying. Let's see here. Let's go back and look. As I'm getting text. Oh, he's asking a question to someone else. So cool. Okay, so the one thing I like about this charger the most is that I can do something called regenerative discharging. And I'll show you how that works. So right now, I have this thing plugged into a power supply. So it's going to work like a regular charger, do everything you need it to. But when it comes to discharging, it can only do a certain amount because it's using a power supply and it can't put power back into this. So I'm going to unplug it from this power supply, and I can put that thing away since I'm not going to be using it anymore. Let's get that out of here. Power supply gone. And pull in my So this is going to go into the discharging section now, guys. We're into discharging. So I'll actually show you how I do it. So I've got an old battery here. I'm going to plug this into that. I've got alligator clips connecting to that. You can see there. So I put alligator clips into the bullets. And I could do one of two things. I could charge with this thing, or what I tend to do is if I've used all the batteries that I need to for the day and I have a lot of batteries charged still, I'll do what you call regenerative discharge. So this has all the same settings the other one does, except for discharge is different. It's got storage, and it's got discharge, and then discharge plus. So this is cool. Let's start with discharge. So I actually have a battery here that needs to discharge too. So I'll show you how it works. So this is a China Hobby Line 5,000 pack that I used over the weekend, that I charged over on Friday and didn't get around to using it. So I used it some today for my afterburner setup, which doesn't hardly use anything. It's not going to discharge it at all. So it needs to discharge. I don't know if you guys can see that. So I'll have to see if the camera will adjust here. But the cool thing about this thing is that as soon as you plug it in, it automatically knows what it is, and it already says it's a 6S. So I have a few settings here that I can do on my own. And discharge is one of them. So number one, that tells you what the voltage is. 3.7 is what I'll take it down to, and that's what it'll be under load. Once it gets to 3.7, it'll shut off. 20 amps. So it'll discharge at a certain rate. 20 amps is the max, but it gets to the max wattage that it can do on discharging. That'll be the max, and I'll show you here in a second. So I'm going to start it. And it asked me if I'm sure that's what I want to do. Yes. I'll just start. So then it goes through the whole thing. You may not be able to see what's on the screen here. Let me turn that around. You may not be able to see it. Let's see if I can get that a little closer. No, you can't see it. It's not blending in with the camera. But right now, let's go back. Take it to this other screen. You can't see it, but I'll tell you what the screen says. It says the input voltage, the input power, and that's amps. Right now, it's putting 20 amps into this battery, and the current voltage of the battery is 14.39 and going up. So right now, I'm taking all the battery from this, putting it into this, and that way I can discharge this pack in a much faster amount of time. So there's a conversion right here, since this is a 6S battery. It's taking 12.24 amps out of this pack, but it's actually putting more into the battery because of the conversion. So that's one way that I'm able to get batteries down quickly. All right, cool. Hey, Al Park. That's another one of my fellow Bayside Flyers. We'll check out the chat here, see where you guys are. So Marshall Rudder. I just use stuff that works. I know that there's more stuff that I do quantity. So rather than have a parallel board and an iCharger, I think it's easier for me to just get 3 chargers, especially when they're on sale. And then I don't have to worry about the parallel board shorting out. It's just a matter of preference, that's all. Like I said, neither right or wrong way. That's just what I prefer. Let me check out the rest of the Chat here, Marshall. I'm adding you as a moderator. Let's see. Hey, Robert. Hey, Sean. Thanks for hanging out, guys. So let's see what else is going on. Any other questions for you guys? I'm just discharging this pack right now. It's discharge. I don't know if there's any way to get it so you can see what that thing's saying on the screen. Sean Gall, I got to fly Friday. Hopefully I'll get to fly again this Friday when my field opens again. And I have a jet flying over, so it might get noisy. Just a private jet this time, nothing fancy. So let's see here. I'll hang out with you guys on the chat for a little bit until this thing's done discharging. This is one way, and I'll show you another way that RC Air Marshal is. I bought this due to his recommendation. I'll show you that in a minute. It's an ISDT smart discharger, but I'll get to that in a little bit. So let me check out the chat. And yes, you're right. You shouldn't leave batteries charged. Loud neighbors. Sorry, guys. Um, 200 driver. The best thing to do is discharge them that day. I didn't. I waited a couple days, but it's best to discharge them. If you're not going to use them, discharge them right away. I try not to leave them more than a day or two fully charged, but even that's really not good. You should discharge them right away. Let's see here. Let me see if I turn the light on. Maybe that'll help. It might blank everything out for a second. Hold on. Maybe it'll adjust. There we go. That helped. You can see a little better. So you can see how quickly it's discharging. And then I'll go back to, that's the individual cell. And then that's the input power. Sean, yes, I have. Not fun. If you do things right, that won't happen. But sometimes if with a bad battery, it still can happen. So that's showing you right now that there's 18.3 amps going back into this battery right here. So as you can see, that's pretty quick. I mean, it's a lot faster than your regular charger will discharge. Now, the reactor, they do sell a 4-port version of this, but you can never get it. It's always out of stock. And it can do a lot as well. But yeah, I think this is pretty close to being done. Yeah, we're almost done. So that's 3.86 under load. So once it gets to 3.7, it will shut off. There we go. See if it stays. Might not because of the fan going. So is this making sense, guys? So guys, if we get lucky and I end up seeing a big military plane come in, I'll flip the camera around so you can see it. I'm sitting outside and there's a military base nearby. Well, it's a federal field. Haven't had the Blue Angels or those guys come over here. I don't know if they're going to do a West Coast thing. But if they do, I'm going to take a video. I got a P8 Poseidon over yesterday. I didn't post that video yet. That looks like the AL-37. Looks like a 737, but in military colors. C-130s all the time. Oop, I knew it was going to fall. And then Blackhawks always. But nothing today. Everything's been kind of chill. Any questions before I head on to the next subject, which is the ISDT smart discharger? So John T, I use both packs. Let's see, I have a G Plus here. That's a G Plus. This is a 30C, but it is a G Plus. Let me see. Maybe it isn't. There's the other one. That's not a G Plus. The G Plus is a 70C, but I left those in my car. Another thing you're not supposed to do, but those are in discharge state in my car at the moment. The G Plus are really good. I've used the 70C, and they're pretty heavy, but they work really good. And the Black Series are really light, and they work just as good as the G Plus, but they're really light, significantly lighter. I think they might even be something graphene like. That pack there is a Black Label, and they work really good. I use those. Fred Barron, what's happening? So I use those regularly in a plane that pulls 150 amps peak, and they come down barely warm. Let's see, this thing should be just about done. It is 22.4. Yeah, almost done. So let's see if you guys can still see. So that's what it is per cell. That's the actual voltage. But look how quick this has gone. This has only been 11 minutes. And this thing's already down to my storage voltage, which will probably be around 3.8 once the load's off of it. John T. Depends on what you're looking for. The 55C G Plus are really good. I think those are on sale at the moment. But the Black Series, those are really good. You're not gonna. Okay, if you want something lightweight, go for the Black Series. Those are really light. Most packs in that same class will be over 800 grams. These are under 800 grams, like 780 or 790 grams for a 5,000. So I don't have my HRBs here, but HRBs are another good brand to go for if you can. Those are pretty good. The 6,000s are the same weight and size as most 5,000s, but they put out more power and more capacity. So let me look at the chat and see what you guys are saying. So John T, to answer your question, try the Black Series. They're really light and you get a lot of power. If you need the extra weight, go for the higher CG plus. But even the 30 CG plus, 30, 40, 55, and 70 C, those work really good. So let's see. All right, so this is almost done. Yep, there it is. It's done. But now look, now that the load's off, you'll see that the cells will recover a little bit. But they're going to recover to a voltage that's going to be well within storage range. So let me let this thing cool off, and then I'll unplug it, and then I'll go on to the next segment. So Sean Gall, is it a brand new battery? Okay, so John T, if it's weight, do you need it to be heavy or need it to be light? All right, so fan stopped. All right, so let's move on to the next segment. So Sean Gall, was it brand new? I mean, has it been sitting there brand new charged, or was it sitting there in storage the whole time? All right, so we did the Discharge Plus, so now you get to see how it works with this type of charger. Now there's another setting on here called Discharge Plus, where I can actually add a load into this and make more amperage go back into this battery. I didn't do that because I don't really need it, but if I wanted to, I could put a load in here in between the lead, like a light bulb or something heavy, or something that will draw amps. Whatever it pulls from here, we'll take that all, put it back into here, so you can make the load whatever you want. But I just leave it at what this will do. I'll just look at what this thing does from the factory, which is more than enough, way more. See, I was able to do that whole battery discharge in 13 minutes, and that's a 5,000. So that's it. This one's done. So that's one style of discharge, which I have used a lot. And actually, the funny thing is I've used this discharge method for getting people's cars started. So if I have a friend at the field whose battery goes dead, I'll do just like I did here, and I'll get one of my charge packs, hook it up to their battery, and pump out as many amps as I can into it for as long as I can, and then start their car. Alright, so let's get that out of the way. I've actually done that a couple times so far, 3 or 4 times. Works pretty good. Alright, so that charger, I have 2 of these. I have one that's a reactor and one that's a Charsoon, but it's the same thing, just different name. So let's get that out of here. So let's look at another battery. This is another one that I used. Was going to use over on Friday, but I ended up not having enough time to use all the batteries. I ended up with, what, 6 batteries? 6 batteries left after the day, and I've got a lot. Okay, so this is the battery I'm going to discharge next. This is a 30C4000. This is what I use in my baby F18 or my 70mm FMS 18. So let's get this next thing out. So, Dave Marshall, if you're around, this is a very cool machine. This is a smart discharger. It's called FD200 200 watt smart discharger. This is another method. So basically, you see it there. This thing, now if you have smart batteries, it's got a connection for the smart batteries in there. But I made an adapter just out of a XT60 to go in there. And I have it adapted to a EC5 because that's what I use for my batteries. I'll plug this in. Now, if you have a smart battery, which I didn't bring with me, this thing's cool. That little, in here in the middle, there's a third wire in there. That third wire will tell you pretty much everything about that battery. If it's a smart battery, it'll go through and tell you each individual cell voltage, what you have it set to do, all these different things. It's cool. But I don't have that one set to do this. So get my phone out so you can see what I'm doing. This thing has a really cool feature. Let's see if you can see it. So I push this button, turns it on. And then I have an app. Let's see if you can even see it. May not be able to see it. But there's an app here that shows you what this thing's going to do. So I have it set for max. So just push start, and it's going to start. Wild Bill, I do have smart stuff. I just didn't bring it. Still frozen, guys, or is it clear now? That better? Can you hear me or no? What about now? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? You see? So guys, I'm gonna restart my cam. I'm gonna unplug it and plug it back in. See what happens. See if I'm able to clear it up. You got a sound, but you're not getting the cam. So hold on a second, guys. Let's see if I can go out and come back. Yep, I did the black screen on purpose. Can you guys hear me now? There we go. I think we're back, right? All good? All right, so as I was trying to show you, oh, you know what? I put the Bluetooth stuff in it. I've got this ISDT thing I'm going to show you guys. So there's the app. Shows you what it's doing. I don't know if I can get it closer. But I can do this from a good distance away too. But this way I can have more than one thing discharging at once. So I'll put something here, and I'll put something on that other discharger if we want to get it done quickly. So yeah, the app makes it really easy, and I got to thank RC Air Marshal for pointing this thing out. I went and bought it because he recommended it. You can see that. It shows you what it's doing. Kind of cool. It's a good thing that to go. And then I will go inside and watch TV or do whatever. And then all I got to do is pull up this app because it still works. I'm only about 20 feet away. Turn the thing on, and it shows me what's going on outside. So, okay. So, any other questions so far, guys? Because I'm moving along pretty quick. I don't want to make it so people can't keep up. So cool. 35 people still hanging out. Thank you, guys. Go back and check out the chat. He's still working. Yep, still working good. Okay. So warm. This thing doesn't really get too hot either, but you can feel hot air coming out from the rear. Right here, you can see it blow on the leaf here. There's a leaf right there. So see, there's fans running, blowing hot air, and there's a bug coming over right above me. But there's hot air coming out from here. It just takes all this energy, turns it into heat, and blows it off. So that's one way to do it. All right, what else? So somebody was asking about how to charge a battery that has one cell that's bad. And once this is done, I'll show you. There's a way to do it. I have all the stuff here with me. So while that's still going, I'll show you. So on these, everybody's always talking about a balance lead, balance tabs, right? Well, depending on the battery, the red and the black here will be full battery voltage, because all these multiple cells, this is a 6-cell battery. That's 6 individual cells. That's why they say 6S. 6 is cells, S is series. 6 cells in series. So if you go along each one of these tabs here with the voltmeter, it can tell you the voltage of each individual cell. If you go from minus to plus, it'll give you the full battery voltage of all the cells together. If you go from, you can't really see it because I'm on camera, but if you go over any two of those, you get a cell, an individual cell. So what I do is I have a little thing like this that will actually go in there to each of the cells. It's an adapter. It plugs into a DIMMS. This way you're able to go to each cell and figure out the voltage. So if you can figure out which cell is bad or which cell is low, you don't have to go through this lead and then try to use the balance port on your charger to get everything even, which will take a long time. So what I'll do is I'll use this little probe. You line it up, make sure it's plus and minus, and you're able to go each individual cell one by one. Figure out what cell it is that's bad, and go from there. So who's going away? Is that Mike Keller? Mike Keller, thanks for hanging out, man. I have to work tomorrow, so I'll try to get back in time to get that thing balanced for you. So whoever it was that was asking about the battery, that's one way to do it. That's how you do it. Get one of these things, these probes, that will go in there. Just make sure that it's lined up. And you can choose each cell and charge each cell individually. So that way you can charge that one that's low, get it up to where it needs to, and go from there. But one thing that somebody else mentioned too, if you have a battery where one cell is way off compared to the others, you need to check the internal resistance, because chances are that one cell, the internal resistance is probably way high, so nothing's able to go in. So yeah, let's see how much is left on this app. So just pull up the app again. It's mostly done. It's still showing you how many amps it's pulling. Jeff in Lower Alabama, thanks for hanging out, man. Hope I was able to help you with some stuff. We'll check the chat. Anybody got questions? Craft King, what are you doing here? Anybody got anything they want to add or ask questions at all? Been running for an hour. I don't want to make you guys stay up too late. I think I'm pretty much done. Not a whole lot more. But A lot of you guys have been asking where it is that I fly, so that's the name of the club. If you've ever wanted to look it up, you can look it up online. Livermore Flying Electrons is a pretty cool field. City, thanks for hanging out. Let me add a wrench to you. And yes, Air Marshal, it's totally worth it. I'm glad you pointed it out, because I use this thing a lot. And George, on Friday, that place is in Sacramento, which is our state capital. It's a pretty cool field. Eddie K's RC, the place where I work right now, it's called SLAC, National Accelerator Lab. We work with the DOE, Department of Energy, and also paired up with Stanford. We're working on batteries right now. They have batteries now that they're testing that are going to revolutionize everything. They have to check their stability and see how well they can work on consumer level. But there's stuff out there that'll blow your mind. They're just testing them now. And hey, Josh, thanks for hanging out, man. $200 driver, it depends on what the pack does. I've had packs that were always a little bit puffy, but they always worked really good and never grew. So I use those. John T, just let me know if you want me to go over anything again. No big deal. Josh, thanks for hanging out. I will check your channel for your uploads. I've got you. I'm subscribed. Yep, there it is. It's done. So that shows you that it is finished. We go into the app. Go into the app. Push stop. That's it. So that's a quick and easy way to discharge. Guys, I think that's probably about it. I don't want to go too long because I know you guys are on the East Coast. Some of you are on the East Coast, and it's going to be getting dark over there. Well, late. It's already dark. It's just going to be getting late. So something I wanted to go over really quick before the mosquitoes start eating at me. Give me a second here. Let me get stuff set up. So now that I've got you guys all there, so look at the chat. I just posted some stuff right there. If you guys want LED afterburners from Gooniac, that's the only place you can get them. There's somebody out there right now. They know who they are. I think you guys know who they are. That are redirecting my name to their website. It's funny because even after doing that, I'm still outselling them. But still, that's the only place you can get a fiery booty is through there. So if you need a fiery booty, you can get a hold of me there, or call me or email me at gooniac33@gmail.com. It's the only place you can get my burners. Nowhere else. Somebody's trying to play a trick on you. If you type in gooniac33.com, see what pulls up. That ain't me. Type in Gooniac's RCEDFcreations.com. Look what comes up. And that ain't me. So somebody decided they wanted to be me, or decided they wanted to sell their stuff like me, whatever. Look at that person, look at their page, and pay attention to what it is that they've done, and think about if that's the kind of person you want to do something with, or if that's the kind of person that would that you'd like to hang out with or to be in the hobby with, because it's kind of underhanded and creepy. So I don't want to go too far into it, but let's just say this. I started doing this back in 2010. I started it. If you look at RC Air Marshal's show, I go through the whole history of when I started. Started in about 2010 with brushed DSCs, started with actual EDF planes in 2011. I've been doing it for a long time. There's no need for me to copy anyone, regardless of how it is. They think it is. That's not what it is. This person in question just started this about 2 years ago, and now they're trying to say that I stole their idea. No. So do this, guys. Let me type it in so you can see. I think this is interesting. Yeah, thank you, RC Air Marshal. He just typed it in. Click that link and see where it takes you. Number one, I don't have a website. I use the Facebook page because that way I can interact with every customer that I have and then take their order, make sure I get everything right. So if John T, if you go to that page that RCR Marshall just clicked, you'll see what I mean. I don't like mentioning that person because it's annoying. So as Spencer Keith said, tell the whole story. So the reason why I'm making a big deal about it is this person decided they didn't like the fact that I was outselling them. So they figured they would contact my job through email and try to get me fired. So that's when I decided I had to say something about it. When I've went a little bit more in depth with things that I'm doing, because it's not cool. So I understand people might want to be like me. I don't know why you'd want to be like me, but taking my name Gooniac33.com and redirecting it to your site, what do they say? Copying someone is the best form of flattery. Yeah, but actually trying to get me fired, that's personal. So you guys think about how it is you want to deal with that person, or how it is you want to deal with that situation, because I don't work that way. I didn't even mention them. I've made pros and cons about my setup as opposed to theirs, and that's the same with the other guy too. But I never said don't buy it. I said mine is better, but buy what you want. So let's just put it out there and make it for what it is. If you decide to go after my job, you're pretty pathetic. So, yeah. Thankfully, I've been there 17 years. I know people, and it didn't go anywhere. But still, if anybody wants to see it too, I have it. I can send it to you, but you gotta get a hold of me. I'm not gonna blast it here. But make a better product. Don't try to steal customers. And if any of you guys did buy someone else's burner through thinking you're getting it from me, I'd say send it back, because number one, it's not going to work very long. Number two, it's not a fiery booty. There's only one fiery booty, and it's made by a guy named Gooniac. So anyway, just to let you guys know, it's not to, I have no problem with competition, but I have a problem with somebody going after my job and then trying to snatch my own customers that would be going to me. That's kind of underhanded and creepy, and I don't think we need that in RC. Just so you guys know, I don't want anybody getting in trouble over me. So when you're in other people's streams, don't start bringing this crap up, because it's my issue, and I appreciate the support and everything, but I don't want anybody getting in trouble on account of me. But I think that you guys should let this person know that what they did is kind of underhanded and bad. And the only way you can do that is by telling them or buying the better product. I think we know which product that is. So, anyway, Amy. Hi, Amy. Let's see here. Guys looking upside my head. Shouldn't have to look upside my head like that. So it's early morning for you, John. And you get a wrench, my dear. So I'll type this in again. Just look and see where this goes. Because it's not going to my website. And hey, AZ Desert, you've got my you can message me on my Facebook page. I'll show you. I'll talk to you. And yeah, everybody knows. Motion knows. RC Informer knows. Wesley knows. So people know. That's all I can do. There you go, RCR Marshall. Thanks. I'm not going to do a whole lot more. I'm just going to let things work out on their own, because I don't see a problem with him selling stuff. He can sell whatever he wants. But if you try to affect my livelihood, go after my family, the way I make money, sorry. So anyway, enough of that. Let's go back to fun stuff. So anything else anybody wants to talk about, or leave it at that? And yeah, like I said, we do not burn light here. Not at all. Amy. Anybody that knows me knows I might be a big guy, but I don't. Only people I go after are people who mess with my family. So I think you get it, right? Victor, I love you too, but don't ever try that. So yeah, guys, keep the hobby cool. All right, this hobby's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be about helping people out. Um, kind of like what I'm doing here today, showing you guys what I do. I That's what I want to do with this channel, and also just so you guys know too, I've got a whole bunch of shows set up for the rest of this month. But I'm also going to be doing. It's my birthday month. My birthday's on May 23rd, and we're quarantined. So I'm going to be doing a giveaway just as a way of giving back, because I've gotten, I don't like talking about myself, unlike the other person who wanted to boast about how many burners they'd sold. But I've been doing this almost a little over a year now, and I've sold these things all over the world. Australia, one in Taiwan, which was kind of scary. A couple in Australia, like I just said. Canada, lots in Canada. One to Alaska. Several in the UK, Sweden, Austria just recently, Scotland, Switzerland, all over the world. So it's been really cool. But as a result of that, I think as of today, because I got some more orders today, I'm at 786 sold total. That's total units sold. And every one of those I made myself, put together myself. I got help from Raven Rock, building my adapters. This is Raven Rock that did this. He makes those. This is a really cool adapter. It's carbon infused, and this is for an outrunner. It's kind of cool, but see, this is all cooling holes, better than stock. That's for a 90 millimeter. Anyway, sent these things all around the world. So as a result of that, I want to give back. So giveaway. You have to be on my channel with the wrench, but yeah, there's going to be. I'm going to give away a UMX Ultrix and a battery from China Hobby Line, up to $60 in value, up to your choice. So that's coming on May 25th. So if you guys want to stay tuned for that, I got stuff I'm going to give away. Spencer Keith, you wanted to see your 90. Let's look again. This is the adapter that goes on the back of the 90 millimeter right there. So that's it. That's no burner in there, but the burner goes in there. So this is way better than stock. And George, thanks for hanging out. Your order's going out too. I appreciate the business. So yeah, guys, as I said, I have them all set up. So you'll be getting, if you like and subscribe, just mainly subscribe and then click all, so that you'll get all the notifications. It will give you the countdown for all my upcoming shows. And yeah, happy belated birthday to you, Amy. Let's see. But yeah, so stay in touch. I've got a few shows to go before that, so it'll give you guys a chance to get something from me. And if anybody on there wants to contribute to that, I'm down for it. If not, it'll just be those two things. But I'm going to get an Ultrix for myself. So I'm like, what the hell? Get one for you guys, especially since I can't have an actual birthday party with other, my family. It's going to be cool. But let's hang out with the people here. Randy, my butt ain't on fire. Someone else's will be for trying to go after me the wrong way. But my plane's butt might be on fire. And yeah, Amy, thank you. As Pilot Robert would do, I salute you for your birthday. But yeah, anything, I mean, if you guys want to see anything before I go, I think I'm going to wrap it up. But this has been, I think this has been good. I hope you guys learned something. I got more stuff coming. The next show, I'm going to do some, I even have a couple shows coming up with beginner stuff, what batteries to choose for your planes, you know, basically things that I can do to help you guys out, so you can see what it is that I do and how it is that I do it. So, and also I'm publishing the videos from the other day. I was really sick because of the allergies, so you hear me all stuffed up, but still. Also, I'm going to do a video here pretty quick. I did another custom burner. I did one for RC Air Marshal, but I did another one for that. Did you guys see the video of the little kid flying the FMS Hawk that I posted? Dude's Arizona guy's the same age as me. We're a couple weeks apart in age, and we used to be friends until I realized he was a snake. But yeah, so there's another burner. I did a blue one this week, and then Dave Marshall has one, so I'm going to post a little video showing what custom ones I've done, so you guys can see. RC Air Marshall, I'm doing that. I'm going to post it. I'm going to do a little compilation. I'll do it after this. Spencer Keith, he's a couple weeks younger than me. 45. Yeah, well, you know, leave it to you guys to take care of that. But I know what I'm going to do, and I can't really talk about it, but it's going to be taken care of. So, anyway, I think that's it, guys. Appreciate y'all hanging out, as I like doing since Pilot Robert. And I'm going to send something to Pilot Robert too, so be prepared for seeing a gift from the Gooniac from Mr. Robert, Pilot Robert. But thank you guys for watching. Appreciate it. And after this video is done, you can always put comments and suggestions. So go ahead and do that. But I'm going to get out of here. Thank you guys. Have a good night. Thanks for hanging out, Amy.